Hey runners, do you ever get a pain either in the hip like IT band or knee or shin or ankle or anything in this area down below? And then you like keep stretching the hip, keep rolling the hip, maybe you strengthen the hip, you're doing all the clams, and you're still getting the same pain. I want to talk about how it's all connected, that you might be getting a pain somewhere, but it might be originating somewhere else. I'm going to give you a fun little test retest. And I just want you to know that one of the things that happens with running is if we feel something like a twinge, we might think, oh, I'm tight in that spot. Like that's always our first thought, right? If I have my hips are bothering me during my run, I think, oh, I need to stretch my hips. So this is just a fun little test retest. So I just want you to have something that you can hold. Okay, that's all you need to do this test retest. I have a ball here. I also have this roller. You can use anything that you could put your hand on. Okay, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the first test is, can you do this? So all you're gonna do is take your arms out, and I'm gonna go with my left leg first. So I'm gonna cross my left leg over, right? My knees are nice and soft. So I cross my left leg over, and then I'm gonna extend that same arm out. Left arm, left leg, left arm. Okay, take this hand and reach up. See what I'm doing? Just reaching right up. And then I'm gonna drop over, okay? When I drop over, my feet are free. Okay, this is important. My feet are free, my knees are nice and soft, and there's no issue. I can touch the ground, no problem, okay? Now, if I cannot, right? So let's say I did everything, bent my knees, crossed over, arm out, lifted up, and then I'm like, oh, stuck. So a lot of people will say to me, well, I'm tight, or I can't do that stretch. So I'm here to tell you that what you want to do is work on your ability to get into a good position. Same with the running pose, right? If I'm limited in this ability to lift my upper body up and just let it relax, then something else could be limited, right? And some would do the other side, just so we're balanced, right? So I'm gonna do the other side, and it's the same thing. You come up and you really lift. This arm is out for balance. I lift, and I wanna talk about this lift. So I lift up, and then I just drop down. And again, if it's not free, and what I mean by that is that if I went to crossover, notice I bend my knees, I cross over, take my arm out, lift up, drop, and I cannot get there, then I'm going to tell you that something in your line is holding you back, okay? So then you say, okay, well, where did I feel that? What was limiting me? So some people will say, I felt it in my here, right? In their ankle, in their outer shin, outer knee, anywhere along this line. And what I want you to think about is the line. So I talk about this a lot in running. We want to be strong in our line, in holding our line. Our knees are soft. And the line is like, think about it that it's inside, right? I have a line that runs through my body. And it comes, the skewer is here, like a skewer. And when I lift the line, my whole body lifts right through the ribs, and everything feels lighter in the legs. So this stretch is part of that lift. See, I'm lifting, and then I lift and I relax. So you're getting the full range of motion, but you're also connecting with running. And this is really cool because when I first did that stretch, just so you know, whenever I was first shown that, 25, 30 years ago, this was me. I was like, oh, here. This is where I was. In fact, I took a swim lesson because I was doing triathlon. This is in the 90s, right? It's 2025 today. And they said, hey, everybody, we need you to do streamline, which this is like streamline. I'm still not great at it, but I was here. This is in the 90s. And I was here, and I was like, just, hanging out. And the coach was like, what is that? So I want y'all to be aware of something called perception. In my mind, I thought I was here. I wasn't. I was here. And what was limiting me? To be honest, what really is limiting is this. It's this middle rib cage back area. And we get very stuck in thinking it's our neck and our shoulder, or it's our hips and down below. And it's all connected, because if this is stuck, so's the rest of you, right? So this test retest is a great way to check in on yourself. Can I work through my line, right? And if I can, then I can increase my range of motion. If I'm not there yet, I'm going to just do things that help me increase my range of motion. So that's my standing test for just check and see, can I do a full range through that line? Again, if not, I'm going to use something and I'm going to work on here coming down, right? If I'm here today, can I come down here? And then can I eventually get rid of it and come here, right? And be relaxed, right? And it's not about trying to get there quickly. It's about allowing yourself to get there. And when you start to release everything, everything starts to feel better. All of a sudden you're like, oh, my range of motion is better in my swing. My hip opening is better, right? It all comes together when you do things that connect that line. So that's my standing one. Okay, and now I'm going to do seated and then all the way down. So what do I mean by that? So again, take your chair, whatever you got. I'm using my ball, and you're just going to have a seat. Okay, now I want you to just take your hands and clasp. And you're going to come inside and open. Now, some of you might get stuck here. Some of you might get stuck here, here, here. Anywhere in the chain that you get stuck, it's fine. Again, don't force through it. So if I'm stuck here, okay, acknowledge, I'm okay with that. I'm going to come back down. Acknowledge, I'm going to come back down. And if you continue to try it, you will open up so soon, I promise. Okay, now let's release and do the other side. So clasp, come inside and open. So I just need you guys to understand that I was where you are. I was here and I didn't know it. And then I was like, oh my goodness, changes everything. Okay, so where do I feel that? Can I do a full range? And if I can, right, this is the fun part. If I can have full range somewhere, like, wow, my shoulders are really free, great. Then we know, like, I have a full swivel. Can I rotate my head to the right? Rotate my head to the left? Can I swivel, right? My head should be free. If my head's free, my shoulders are free. I'm like, great. This isn't the problem. See, I can do all this stuff, right? This is open. So you're just checking in on yourself. And then when things get stuck, you have to go, okay, I'm stuck. What's the issue? So we're going to do one more. I'm going all the way down. These are all test, retest. And the reason I say retest is because you can do this throughout the day to check how, and you don't have to be seated, but being seated allows you to actually relax everything and let yourself see if you can do a full range. And that's really, really important. Okay, I'm going to come all the way down and we're going to do a really simple stretch for runners, okay? And it's called a half butterfly. And I'm going to show you two things. This is pretty cool. So I'm not very flexible, but I have good range of motion, and that's what you want for yourself, okay? So I'm going to just bend my leg in like this. And this is what's really important. In running, in walking, in sitting, and standing, this is the line. This ears, shoulders, hips, okay? So if I just take my hand and I press my leg down, because look, my leg just popped up. And this happens to a lot of runners. So why does that leg pop up? People think it's my hip that's tight. It's not really the hip that's tight. It's here and here. And this is important because watch my torso. If I just take my hand and press down, look what happens. You see that? If I just press down, if I force this down, then look, my shoulder will rotate in. Imagine if you're running and this is happening when you run, and then you're like, my hip hurts, and you keep stretching your hip. You need to be able to stay here. So this is here. My arms are here. My neck is free. I have to bring my leg down. This is important. And stay here. Okay, so what if I can't? What if I cannot bring my leg down myself? Then you could use a prop. So like this ball or this roller. This roller weighs absolutely nothing. So if make sure it's only on the leg, so I could actually hold it here. It weighs absolutely nothing, and see if that helps, and then go back to where I was. See, my focus is holding this line and then holding the stretch. Okay, and it's not comfortable, by the way, But the more I do it, now watch, I'm going to let go of my roller and look at staying down. Okay, but just so you know, I'll do this again tomorrow and my leg will pop up. We repeat movement patterns, and a lot of times the body will go back to how it was. So what happens is you're telling yourself, this is where I want to stay. And the more comfortable, look now, free your arms, see? Free your arms now, see? Free your arms. Even do a few arm swings. See how it's not now? It's not affecting my legs at all. My arms are free, but I had to get there. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So I broke my leg a few years ago and I healed it on my own. And this was a big part of it, was instead of trying to force a stretch, I would just get into this position. And you can see it, my leg does not want to go down. And it's my middle back is what's tight, right? For you, it could be your shoulders, it could be your hip. How would you know it was your hip that was tight in this position? Well, if this leg is all the way down and you're still feeling tension in the hip, it's the hip. So right now, you can see that leg's not down, so I'm going to help it. I'm going to put my ball here. So this ball weighs 10 pounds, so using a light weight's fine. And then look, I'm going to lift up, I'm going to open, take this leg back, and just sit here until that leg will relax. When my leg was broken, and I say broken, I never went to the doctor, but it hurt really bad. Instead of forcing it, it would go like to here, and I'd be happy with that. That's as far as it would let me go. You have to be happy with what it will let you do. But as you continue, then just talk to it. Can you go a little bit more? And then you breathe. And what you're doing is you're also communicating with your body. So I'm not forcing it. I'm just talking to it. See how I'm talking to you? There's no stress. My neck is free. Everything's free. And look, now it will go down. So you see, well, the idea is let me get myself into a really good position. So we just used half butterfly. By the way, on the new app that we have, that free app, we got a bunch of stretches. We've got it on the YouTube. There's a lot of stretches you can do for running. This is just one, but it's so good. And then when you're done, shake it. Look, are your quads free? Lay back for just a minute. Take your hands under. And we have this in our warm-up, but can you feel that your ankles are free? So if my ankles are free, see, they'll be relaxed in the run. But a lot of people, when they do this, their feet are not free. So this could be creating pain in the shin, pain in the knee, quad, hip. The ankle needs to be free. And it's really just you letting it go. Like a little kid, you know, you've got to just let your ankles be free. So you want to do ankle circles so that you have the ability to rotate that ankle. But to just let them go, that's just you. And the more you get comfortable, see, now your feet are free, it helps to free everything else. So make sure that that's happening, that freedom of the feet. And it's amazing. Like I just did that nice stretch. Now my quads are free, my feet are free, my neck is free. That's what you want with range of motion, right? Everything is now free to move. And the more freedom you have to move, the more ability you have to increase that range. And then you can add stretches. You know, there's not a limit or a range. There's not, this is the best one, this is it. But one thing I tell people is as you start to work on range of motion, right? And allow yourself to use props. Again, we have all of these stretches. Think about staying in that line and opening and playing around in that movement. And have things like rollers, because absolutely, I just moved around a lot. I feel really good. Now I can take that roller and I can put it on areas that I know are tight, right? I know my hips are tight, right? I know that, but I also know my middle back is tight. So now I'm going to take my roller and start rolling my middle back. And it's amazing when you start to really work through your rib cage, through this middle back. And you see what I'm doing? I'm just letting things open. Wow. And by the way, every time I do this, I cry. Like tears of joy. But you have to take yourself through this because, and you can use this roller. This is the AccuMobility Eclipse. It is my personal favorite. You can use whatever roller you want. But you see, if we've got to get that middle back, and then you can work on your neck, and then you can work on your hip. I really, full body rolling. right? It's important. So instead of thinking I'm only going to roll the spot that I'm feeling tension, think about I've got to get my head and my neck and my shoulders and my middle back, because we feel tension in our head and our neck, but it's the whole body, right, that's feeling it. So, you know, hamstrings, you got to get in your calves. So remember, it's all important. It's not so important like I'm going to work one area. It's the whole line. And when you start to free first, that's what I call it. Free it first. My ankle's free, right? Is my neck free? These are the things that we work on with our runners. So if you join the membership, by the way, we have all of this is ongoing. But in the YouTube, I've got the warm-up, I've got the recovery. And really what's important is the consistency of it, right? So that when you test and retest, it's not like anything's better than this. It's making sure that you still have the ability to do it, right? Test, retest. And that's why we put a lot of this stuff in to the training. So we help people understand it's not that the one thing is the best, it's the consistency of doing it continuously. And that's what keeps you ready to move, because you want to be able, right? I see all these aging tests, right? I want to be able to use my body in a full range of motion, right? That's really what you want for your run, and to feel like you can move. So part of that is that self-care. But I wanted you to realize that I may have a pain in one area, but it might be something going on in another area. And that's why everything we do skill, strength, and self-care. First, we test the skill, right? And the skill is what? Pulling the foot, holding the pose. Then we add a strength to make sure you can hold that. And then the self-care, what's limiting your ability to hold that? So that's the fun, by the way, of coming into the membership, is then I can work with you a little more individually. But for yourself, test and retest, right? Can I do this? If I cannot, I know I need to work on my range of motion, not just in my hip, but in my middle back, in my upper back and neck. And just these simple little things that you can do is just to check in and see, do I have range, right? How is my range of motion? And it's going to help with your arm swing. It's going to help with your pull, with your elasticity. That's why you want to do the self-care, is to have the ability to do the running and not hurt. So what happens is, as you're working on the movement and really working on your line, every time you run, you're going to have a better run, because you're going to be able to hold that line so much better. So I hope you enjoy this. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Really enjoy the comments. My goal is for you guys to run pain-free and keep running. Keep running as long as you want, all the miles you want. So let me know how it's going. Thank you for subscribing. Please share if you can. And again, we've got that free app. Please download it. We're going to keep adding to the library. And thanks for watching. Have a great run.